Okay, so in this video I'm going to tell you how to take nutmeg, how much to take it and when to take it for sleep, for a full 8 hours night of restorative, refreshing sleep. Yeah, the problem with sleep problems and insomnia is, of course, you have to treat it in some other way also, like this doesn't treat the underlying issue, but it knocks you out and puts you to sleep, and that in a very safe, simple, effective way. You just have to know exactly how to use it and how much to use it. So we're going to go through this. The problem with sleep is, of course, we can't heal if we don't sleep. If you have ever not slept enough, you know what I mean. And so we need to sleep deeply and long enough so that our body can do all the repair work it has to do overnight and do all the healing work. So it's important. You can't heal if you don't sleep well. So it is justified in those cases to take something that just knocks you out and puts you to sleep. And we have safe, effective herbal remedies who can do that. Of course, we have also, you might have heard about valerian or other things like that, chamomile, things that relax you, that can help you sleep. But those work for about 4 hours. And for people who not only have maybe trouble falling asleep, but wake up through the night or wake up several times through the night or wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and then cannot fall back asleep, for them we need a longer effect. And nutmeg has this advantage that it works for exactly 8 hours. Yeah, so it's pretty perfect. Of course, if you only have trouble falling asleep, maybe something like valerian or poppy seed or something like that can help and is enough. But if you have trouble with waking up at night and not being able to fall quickly back to sleep, so then nutmeg is the remedy of choice, in my opinion. So we start with very little. It's a very potent, effective herb, and I don't want you to feel still tired the next morning. So what we aim for is that you sleep a full night of 8 hours minimum of sleep, that you might wake up to go to the bathroom, but if you come back, you can go quickly back to sleep, and you shouldn't wake up like 5 times or so, like 1 or 2 times, maybe maximum, or you should just sleep straight through the night in the ideal case, of course. So that's the goal, because some people, I ask them, do you have any sleep problems? No, I sleep fine. But when I keep asking, for them it's normal to go to bed, to lie awake for 1.5 hours, then finally to fall asleep, then maybe wake up like 3 times, lie awake for an hour, fall back asleep, and all this. This is not good sleep. This is not restorative sleep. This is not what we want. This is we need a good night of sleep. If you have any other health issues that you want to treat, you need sleep. You need sleep. Your body needs sleep to do all the healing work. So it's justified to take something to accomplish that. And of course, we don't want to take any pharmaceuticals that have side effects. So this is a safe, effective herbal medicine, nutmeg. Yeah. So I usually just use a scale, something like this, to weigh out my nutmeg. So I did this for you, a whole nutmeg. Here you can see like a bit bigger one, a bit smaller one. This one weighs about 5-6 grams, and this maybe 4.5 grams. So it's actually around 5 grams, let's say, yeah, for a whole nutmeg. And half a nutmeg is between 2.5 grams, 2 grams, something like that. Yeah, so here I just cut this nutmeg in half, as you can see here. Yeah, and so we start with a very small piece, like this would be 1/4 of a nutmeg. Yeah, and then we are at 1 gram, around 1 gram. And if we go to 1/8 of a nutmeg, yeah, then we have the dose that we're going to start with, which is 0.5 gram. Yeah, so I want you to take the first night 4 hours before bedtime. And even that we have to dial in later. We have to see if 4 hours works for you, or maybe it's 5 hours, maybe it's 6 hours. The effect kicks in between 4 and 6 hours after you take it. So you have to remember this. You have to put a timer on your phone, and you just, let's say you want to be asleep at 10, you take it at 6 o'clock, yeah, or at 5, or even at 4. We have to see, yeah, it's between 4 and 6 hours, and you're gonna just see what results you get and how it works for you. Okay, so you're gonna take 0.5 gram of nutmeg about 4 to 5 hours before you want to go to bed and be asleep, and you take it, and we're gonna see what happens. So maybe this is not a high enough dose for you. The next day you take 1 gram, also like 4 to 6 hours before you go to bed. And the next day you take maybe 1.5 grams. Then you take 2, 2.5, 3, and so forth. Yeah, so some people need up to 4 or 5 grams. I've rarely seen it go higher than 6 grams or 7 maybe. That's a pretty high dose already, but it depends, it depends on your body weight. It depends how you assimilate the herbs, how you metabolize everything. It's very individual. So we want to find out your personal dose. Yeah, I cannot give you a dose, how much nutmeg to take. I don't know, this is very individual. So you have to try it out. Yeah. Okay, so you start with 0.5 gram. The next night you try 1 gram. And let's say you notice already it's getting better. Maybe you're falling asleep faster. Maybe you're staying asleep better. Or if you wake up, you can go back to sleep easier or something like that. So you will notice a change, maybe around 2 grams, let's say 2, 2.5, 3. So then okay, now I have my dose. My dose is 3 grams, about half a nutmeg, maybe half a big nutmeg. So I can take 3 grams every night. And I know this is my dose to put me to sleep and to give me 8 hours of refreshing sleep. So then you also dial in a bit while you're doing this experiment. You dial in the time at some point you will feel the effect of the nutmeg. If you lie in bed, suddenly maybe your mouth gets a bit dry. This is a little effect of the nutmeg. Or you just feel tired suddenly and you relax and your brain relaxes, and you might feel this before you fall asleep. And then okay, yeah, this effect kicks in 4 hours after I take it, or 5 or 6. Yeah, if you still, let's say you took it 4 hours before you go to sleep. Let's say you took your 2-3 grams at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. You were asleep at 10, but you woke up in the morning and you were still feeling tired. Now maybe you want to wake up at 6 o'clock, 7, and you wake up and you still feel a bit the effect of the nutmeg, kind of a dull, heavy feeling, and you feel like, oh, you want to go right back to bed and sleep more. So that's, of course, not what we want. Yeah, in this case, you might have found your ideal dose, 2 to 3 grams, but you took it too late. You have to take it a bit earlier. Yeah, so then you just tried not taking it at 6 p.m., but at 4 p.m. Or at 5 p.m. Yeah, so you dial in the moment. Yeah, if you take it at 4 p.m. and you're gonna feel, maybe around 8-9 o'clock, you already feel you're tired and the effect builds up. And when you lay down at 10, you can quickly fall asleep, like within 10 minutes or so. Yeah, that would be the ideal thing. So you're gonna carefully find out which dose works for you. Yeah, I don't want you to start with 2 or 3 grams. Yeah, because then maybe it was too much and you still feel tired like the whole day. You took it too late or whatever. So please don't give up on nutmeg. Nutmeg wants to help you. Yeah, nutmeg can help you. Okay. And please don't give up. It takes time. You're gonna need like 5 nights to dial this in. Yeah, but it's really worth it because it's a very effective remedy. And of course, you're taking nutmeg, okay? Remember, this is a whole herb. It's not refined. It's not an extract. Yeah, it is. It has antioxidants. It has even other benefits for your body. So yeah, it's not a bad thing, okay? It's not like a pharmaceutical or something that knocks you out and puts you to sleep. Yeah. So okay. Now, how do you take it? Yeah, this is another thing. So there are little nutmeg graters. Yeah. So maybe you have seen this, looks like a cheese grater, just very small. And you can just grate it. Yeah. So you just go and there is this finer grate that you can do here, and you just grate it and you grate it down, and you can measure, you can weigh out the powder, or more or less, this is yeah, if you need like half a nutmeg or however much, you can judge it visually a bit, the amount, if you cannot weigh it out, okay? But ideally, you would weigh it out. So you can grate it, you have the powder, you mix the powder into something, maybe just some water, and sometimes I put the powder in my mouth and just take some water afterwards. Honestly, I do it the very quick way. I kind of cut with a knife. You can take a knife and you can just kind of crack it open. It's actually pretty soft. It's hard as long as it's whole, but once you have cracked it open into a half, it's actually pretty soft. If you then go in there with a knife, you can easily split it open. It just cracks open, and then you have, for example, 1/4 of a nutmeg, which is more or less my dose that I use. So I just cut with a knife a fourth of a nutmeg, put it in my mouth, chew it. Yes, it's very intense, of course. The flavor is like an explosion, but I kind of like it. And then I drink some water or something afterwards. You can put it in a tea. You can actually make a really nice sleep tea. You can boil the nutmeg in some water or make a tea out of it, or you can even grate it and put it onto your evening meal and eat it in a culinary way. That's also something. But yeah, as I said, I don't mind the taste. I mean, you could grind it and put it into capsules. That also preserves a bit the active ingredients, because if you cannot, what you can't do is you cannot buy the pre-ground nutmeg, yeah, that they have in the supermarket. The nutmeg that is already ground to powder, forget it, okay? It's worthless, yeah? The essential oils and the constituents, this all evaporates very quickly and gets lost, and yeah, it's not the same. You need freshly ground nutmeg, okay? So you buy those whole nutmegs. You can buy a bunch of them. They're inexpensive. Maybe you have them already in your kitchen. Imagine, in your kitchen, you have the treasure to solving your insomnia problems and you didn't even know. So yeah, then take a knife, split it open, or you just grate it down with a little grater, or even in a electrical coffee grinder. But then be careful. Then I would also split open the nutmeg before. I destroyed already a coffee grinder trying to grind my nutmeg. So split it open in smaller pieces, and then it's actually not so hard, as I said. Yeah, it seems like hard when it's whole, but you can actually split it open. It's a bit softer on the inside. So electrical coffee grinder or one of those little ones, you grind it up. Yeah, you can mix it if you don't like the taste at all. Put it into capsules. You can make yourself just encapsulate it, or put it into some yogurt or something that masks the taste, or some applesauce or something that kind of covers up a bit the taste. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the taste. I think it tastes actually good, and that's how I take it. I just pop a fourth of it into my mouth, chew it. As I said, it's not that hard once it's split open, and drink something afterwards. But you could stir it into water, or yeah, all those options. Okay, so that's the important things. You take very little in the beginning. You start with 0.5 gram, work up to 1 gram the next night, 1.5 the next, 2, 3, and so forth. You just find your dose and find the best time to take it, yeah, which might be between 4 and 6 hours before you want to be asleep. Yeah, so put your questions in the comments or write me, and yeah, I hope this video has helped you. See you soon. Ciao.